welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we're going to work with this pattern. This is number 2532 on friendshipbracelets.net. So let me copy this and bring it over to our template. You can get these templates over on my website, akaawol.com, and yeah, you can work out your own, like how long you want it based on the strings that you use. I'm going to put this over here onto a new layer so we can kind of move it around. I think for the center, oops, Control Z. Just going to grab this color here. I think for the center, we're just going to let this kind of go this way. So this is the 3 knots there. And then the darker green goes here. And then this blue, let's see. Yeah, I guess that works. So it looks like this is like a dovetail. And it's almost as if the pattern sort of like they were trying to make it. Oh, wait. That's not right at all, is it? Here we go. It comes out like that. There's a bigger square inside. So it's like a dovetail, but like they tried to make it to where it looked like it has some kind of a drop shadow effect to it, which is kind of interesting. So it's like this, and then it just keeps repeating. So this won't be too difficult. A little curious as to what's going to happen with the extra row. So if you've been following this series, you know that every time that you double a pattern, it creates an extra row down the middle. And that can be awesome, or that can kind of take away from how the original pattern kind of looked. So on top of all the whole like laying this out, I'm going to have to also figure out how the strings get where they go, because I didn't really jot that down when I started this. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's that difficult though. It looks kind of straightforward. And then we'll take a look after we put in the strings. We'll take a look at what's going on in the middle and then kind of make the decisions then as to how that's going to end up looking. Okay, so then the light, the dark, and then the blue. Like that. The light in the center. Dark out here. Dark here and here. And I guess this would have been a light one going up that way. Okay. Let's start down here where it'd be a little bit easier. This light green, this kind of goes out and comes back this way. So this one has to be the light green, because it would be the same on the other side, right? So that's, if there's 2 coming in, it has to be that color. Same will happen with this. This will have to be the dark, just the way that it comes all the way to the outside like that. Right. And so this coming out this way means this one will have to be a dark green as well. So I'm just kind of basically problem solving as I go along, kind of seeing how the string travels. This will be a light. And you can kind of tell from like this edge over here, like this also comes out to the edge, but there's room for one more knot. So that's kind of how it gets there. Yeah, that's going to be a blue. I guess this will just kind of come down like that. The dark out here. And then these light ones here. That's going to get kind of weird, isn't it? No, maybe not. Maybe make these blue. I'll make a little diamond in there. That'll look nice. All right. So this blue is what comes all the way out. It's going to be interesting when we bring in the other side, because that's when we'll really see what kind of a pattern we've created, is when we actually bring the two bits together. But until then, we can kind of imagine what that might look like. A little bit difficult, I'd say, at this point, but yeah. I like it when a simple pattern becomes more complex by just simply doubling it. It kind of gives you an appreciation for both the smaller ones and the larger ones. And sometimes, like if this turns out amazing, then double it again. So now instead of having it go from 6 strings to 12, make it go up to 24 and see what happens. You know, I used to do that a lot back in the 80s. You see something turned out kind of neat, make it bigger. Why not? It was the difficulty there is nobody necessarily wants to buy something that's huge. You know, I used to wear them myself, but very few ever got sold. So that's kind of a drawback if you're making bracelets to sell them. Mind you, I'm sure that if I told my friends, you know, here's this amazing big bracelet, I'm just giving it to you, I'm sure they would have gladly have taken it, might have turned it into a bookmark or something else. But yeah, to actually get paid for the work, kind of not so much. It's kind of why I got into making bags and stuff. It seems that people, you know, maybe they don't want to wear something so big, but carrying around a bag that looks really cool is a whole different story. So, and we're almost to the top here. It's going to be interesting too, because it's being flipped. But mind you, doubling it doesn't mean you have to flip it at the middle. That's just something I like to try, because it kind of takes away from the whole redundancy of a design. If you just keep going, it sort of gets kind of old. But I guess the screen comes all the way up to the top. So you can see I'm just following the path. You know, you can kind of tell it's not meant to go too far one way or the other, kind of thing. Just follow the path where the strings are headed. I like it. So there we go. 3 colors going up. All right, let me hide away our thing that we used to get this far. I'm going to grab the select tool, and I'm going to select the quarter of the bracelet that I was working on, copy and paste it, and flip it over to the other side. Go back to the select tool so I can anchor it down. So there's our pattern coming downwards. Yeah. So we have a diamond that kind of raises up behind these diamonds that looks the same. So if it was a sort of drop shadow type effect, it's still in effect in the center. That looks really, really cool. Like I said, it was going to be kind of difficult to see it until it actually happens. And now that I've got this far, I'm really kind of excited. Okay, I'm going to copy the top half, Control C, Control V, get my flip tool again, and this time it goes up the horizontal line. And back to the select so I can anchor that. And now I can see at the middle, we got a diamond with this green box thing around it. Well, it was zigzag, kind of a W-ish. Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. I almost forgot. I need to thank my Patreon supporters, my YouTube members for making this possible. Without their help, I wouldn't be doing all of these cool patterns. And I like what I do, and hopefully you enjoy it too. If you do like the video, please hit thanks, you know, make a comment, do something, hit like, whatever. I would be awesome. I would really appreciate it. And of course, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.